me some light here. Holy cow. I think we're live. We're live. We're live. Wow. Yes. Yes, we are, believe it or not. Oh, boy. Why are we live? You know why? Because there's nobody here, and it's going to be quiet for like the next hour, so we can do a live. And there's all kinds of fun going on. I've actually got quite a bit done on these P-47's. Now, these things have been on this bench almost 14 months, which is embarrassing, but it is what it is, right? So, but that's all right. And I realize it's the middle of the day and it's not ideal for people, but that's okay. You can watch it later. You don't have to watch it in real time. But a lot of stuff going on. Let me lift this thing up here. So this guy is, all I need is stores and blast tubes and the canopy, headrest, and the antenna, and the seat. And I got all that stuff sitting here, and the canopy's painted, all that. But what's cool about that is that I had, and you may or may not know, I bought a Cameo 4 quite a while back, months ago, and did not get around to spending a whole lot of, time with it. Well, I did take the time yesterday and really sat down and played with it, and I really like it. So I made some canopy masks, some P-47 canopy masks, and well, here, let me show you here first. So I did these ones first on this side. This is Aura Mask 810. So I'll pull that off. Okay, get rid of that. So that was my first attempt. Now, if you are an astute person and you're looking at that, you realize something that I didn't realize until I tried to use them. And that is that I have two right sides for the bubble. Luckily, it was easy to fix. So I went in, I fixed it. Here, let me get one of these off here. I went in and fixed it, and come on, and come on, and had to recut them. So this is obviously correct. This is not now. So now that you know. So I have that file. I've used them here. I haven't unmasked this. I think they came out pretty good. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out soon. But once I get this thing finished off, I got there's the antenna, the headrest. Here's the seat. I got to finish and put it on. And I need the intercooler doors. I need to put the intercooler doors on too. I got to find them first. And I have the pylons and the drop tanks and all that stuff. So we're good. We're good. So those are coming along well. I finally came up with a paint scheme on this. I still need to paint the red around the nose and the olive drab anti-glare. That's going to be I already forgot. It's going to be Skipper, which is the one I talked about a little bit ago with the, whether the tail was yellow or olive drab. Obviously, I went with the yellow tail because I think that's correct. I see no reason why it would be olive drab. None. So yeah. But anyway, so that's where those are at. And I'm cleaning some of my mixing cups, my mixing tins. Oh, and there's one I forgot to put in there. Anyway, so that said, what else is going on? Not much. I'm school's getting ready to start here, so I got to take my daughter back to Minnesota the week after next, and my youngest has already started sports practice and stuff. It's his senior year in high school, so I'm not sure what this year is going to look like, but the other side of this year, it's looking like it's just going to be the wife and I, pretty much, which is good and bad, right? It's good that your kids are out in the world doing what they need to do, and it's not bad that they're not here. It's good that they're not here, because you want them out in the world doing what they need to do, and not not being in their 20s and staying at home and sucking on your teat, so to speak. Right. So anyway, but yeah, so that's going to be different. So I don't know how much I'm going to get done this next year, but like I said, these have taken an incredibly long amount of time, and it's not that I've been working on them because I haven't. It's just somebody asked a question on the IPMS group on Facebook about how long it takes you to build a contest model. Well, I don't sit down and build contest models. I just build models, and some are good enough and some aren't. Actually, none of them are good enough, but some are better than others, put it that way. Some I would take to a contest. Most I probably wouldn't. But and how long does it take to build one? Well, it depends on what it is, right? It's I can build something like this this Edward Hellcat, or this Tamiya FW190 that's down here, or a Tamiya Corsair, relatively quickly. I think that FW190 went together in probably 10 or 15 hours. That Hellcat, I don't remember, but I remember I did it like as a speed build thing. I doubt there's 10 hours in it. I could be wrong. I could go back and look at the videos and figure it out. But I'm not that interested, to be honest. But then you have something like the B-26 that you can't see, that's down on the bottom or whatnot. And that is, that took a long time because it has a lot of issues, and there's things I wanted to do. And I was doing videos because I was trying to show people some of the psychotic things that I do on my builds and things like that. So, and it has its problems. I mean, it's the monogram kit, and it has a lot of problems, but it came out really well. And for what it is, I really like it, and I like the weathering on it. I'm really happy with it, and it's going to be in my case for a long time, because for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is I really like the B-26. It was an awesome aircraft. It's an awesome looking aircraft. It's sleek, and they got beat up. You go look in reference photos of B-26s, and man, some of those things were beat up, really beat up. So, so it's a good subject. It's a good subject, and it's not a horrible kit. I mean, if you have no tolerance for an imperfect build, then yeah, it's a horrible kit, but it's fine. It's fine. It looks great from here, right? Other than it's sitting on its tail, which it's got weight in it, but it's it's right on the edge. So if you bump the display cabinet the wrong way, it tail sets. Anyway, so point being, I can spend 8 hours, or I can spend 40 hours. Is there? I guess what I would say is there really, what's the difference between that 8 hours and 40 hours? Given the same basic kit, given a single engine World War II fighter, 48 scale World War II fighter, what is the difference between a 10 hour build and a 40-hour build? What's the difference? Is the 40-hour build going to be that much better than the 10-hour build? I doubt it. I really doubt it. Is it going to be 4 times better? Nah, probably not. At least not if it comes out of my shop, right? It's spending more time on it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better or more awesome or whatever. It just means you spent more time on it. I spend a lot of time just looking at stuff. Sometimes, like if I'm building something and I'm not sure where it's going, then it can take time and get really bogged down. If I know where I'm going, if I know I want to end up here, that cuts a lot of time out for me, because I could just beeline it straight to that. But if I'm floating around, I'm not sure what the markings are and all this other stuff, who knows how long it's going to take. Because like I said, I can come down here and just kind of goof around, and and it depends on, well, it depends on a lot of things. I'm pretty happy with this shop setup right now. Now I need to go through all of my supplies and catalog them all, so I know what I have and what I don't have. I don't know how much time I spent this morning trying to remember what dark earth I used on this P-47, because I had to do some touch-ups. And being that my color vision isn't the greatest, the first thing I grabbed was AK Real Colors RLM 66, thinking that I grabbed the AK Real Colors Dark Earth. And I started spraying, and I'm like, oh, it's really dark. Well, yeah, dummy. It would look really dark. This is not the right color. And then I went, and it was like, well, I must have used Model Air. So I went, I got the Model Air, and I tried that. It's like, nah, that doesn't match either. And so then I had to go back and look at pictures of the workbench when I was working on it to see what was sitting on the bench. And I saw that there was a bottle of AK Real Colors BS Dark Earth. And I mean dark green, not dark earth, but the dark green. Yeah, this. Anyway, and that is what I'd used, and I had to go looking for it because I had moved stuff around. I had it in some place that it wasn't sitting here in the vicinity. And long story short, I finally got the right paint and got the touch-ups done. And I forgot where I was going with that already. But point being, I got way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. So yeah. So how long does it take to build to do a quality build? It depends. There's I can't. I can do a kit, an armor kit with 600 track links. I'm not going to. I think they look great, but I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I'm just not. I did an old Dragon Stug 3 years ago, and it's in the cabinet upstairs. But and it had the individual track legs. And so I had to cut them all through and trim them up and clean them up and this and that. And it took a long time, but they looked great. Okay. I am not arguing that at all. They look great. They do. They absolutely do. But that's a lot of time. And it's just not that important to me personally. Does that mean I prefer rubber band tracks? No, I'm okay with link and length tracks. I'm also okay with the individual tracks, as long as they're not ridiculously engineered. Some of these things I had SU-152, I think it was, and it was 1,200 parts, just some tracks or some ridiculous thing. And each track link had like 3 pieces and all this stuff. And it's like, I sold it. It's like, I'm not doing that. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to build that. But something like that is going to take time, right? So yeah, but a single engine fighter, I mean, I could knock on these Tamiya P-47's out probably 10 hours if I wanted to, but why? It's a $50 kit, and why burn through it that fast? It's not a race, not for me. If I was building for commission and there was money involved, that would be different. That would be a production line thing, but I'm not. So anyway, so that's where the bench is, and that's where that was. I think it was Don that asked that on the group. I made the mistake of asking for feedback on the basic kit build categories on Facebook. And some of you may have seen the thread that ensued, but I was just really looking for whether how well the participation was, and if there were any knockdown dragouts about it. The IPMS forums, on the IPMS forum site, I got some answers that regarded stuff like that it was pretty well attended, or what you would expect, and it went well, and blah, blah, blah. What happened on Facebook is we ended up in this conversation that spanned everything from why aren't we doing GSB to, this sucks, and I don't like it because, I'm used to doing things this way, and I don't like and all of this garbage, and it's whatever, right? Whatever. It's just, what should I say? I'd say there's a group of people out there that take this way too seriously. I don't know what else to say. It's just kind of interesting. It's like, okay, relax. It's fine. It's just a contest. It's just a model contest. It's cool. Don't worry about it. And I think a lot of it stems out of the fact that, you have the old guard and you have the new guard. There's a lot of new blood, which is good. But that also means there's a lot of people that have no idea how the organization runs. A lot of the old guard doesn't either. It's not just the new people. I'm not saying that at all. But I got to close the cover on this. The information's out there, is what I would say. And so there's really no reason not to know what's going on. But so it's just interesting to me when things like this just blow up. They just totally blow up. And I don't get it. I don't get it because we ended up in this whole discussion, this whole thing come up with out of the box again, and it's apparently, it is apparently not very clear to people that basic kit build is not out of the box. Basic kit build, it would be more correct to say that basic kit build was what out of the box was meant to be. But out of the box has so many exceptions to the rules that it means nothing. Something like that. But anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent on that, but because I don't really care, because, if you know me and you've heard me talk about this before, I think they're bogus categories. And I think if you can put a model together, in somewhat of a decent fashion, you certainly can compete with the big boys, whoever they are. Just enter an open category. You're fine. You're fine. It's not like this isn't the World Series. It's just a model show. It's just a contest. It just happens to be a big one. There's no it's not an elite group. It's just IPMS members. That's it. Just regular old IPMS members. And I think if we remember that, then, it's all good. It's all good. It's not a big deal. There's this other, I don't want to say this other group, but there's this other mindset or this other idea that about doing GSB and judging and having different judging criteria and all this other stuff, which I think is great. Okay. But that's not the way IPMS does things. So if you want to do things that way, just go start another group. There's enough people out there. I'm sure it would be successful. And I would probably join both. And a lot of people probably would, would be involved with both. And that's okay. That's okay. You can have it both ways then. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see why that seems to be an issue with some people that, then you're diluting the ranks and this and that. The ranks of what? I mean, seriously, we're not some giant, huge group of people that actually influence much of anything. Right? I mean, the modeling community worldwide even is very small comparatively to other things. The scale modeling community, the IPMS crowd, the people who build stuff like this. This is a small community. Now, you want to talk about model railroaders and things like that. Those are much bigger crowds. And their conventions are way more expensive than ours. But, the figure guys, I don't know, MFCA and those guys, I imagine that's a pretty small crowd. I want to get to the show in Chicago one of these days. But because that kind of stuff is incredible. But anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about now, but suffice it to say, I was happy to hear that things went fairly smoothly. I guess I was also happy to hear that we're still hearing the same old complaints from probably the same group of people about why out of the box is good and why out of the box is bad, but it doesn't matter anymore because out of the box doesn't exist. It's gone. And to me, that's a good thing. And I would just as soon not have either one. But there are those people that want to have both. And I'm sure they all have different reasons. And some of them it's because that's what they're used to and they know how to build to that style. And that's it's like a race car driver that has a favorite track. Right? That's their favorite track because they know how to win there. And that's okay, and that's fine. And I guess, but you know, when that thing goes away, you have to adapt to something else. You know, a lot of people are in this just to try and get better at what they do. So you have this crowd that's always you know trying to move themselves up the ladder, and then you have this other crowd that they've got it nailed, and they just do the same thing every single time, and they've got a formula, and they hit it, and they can consistently put out just the same level, kit after kit after kit after kit after kit. And they know how to hit those numbers, and they know how to make it, they know how to please the judges. Okay, that's great, fine. I don't know that most of us really care. You know, there are people that do. Okay, or we wouldn't be having these discussions. But I think most of us really don't care. It's really not that big of a deal. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm really I really wish I would have been there, because that's the one thing I was really interested in, is how that went over. It doesn't sound like there were any fights and nobody died, so I guess we're good. Right. And Omaha's it's a good show. They do a good job, and it's a great place. And like I said, I'm sorry I wasn't there. San Marcos, planning on going. It's I mean, it's a double whammy for us. The wife is actually, well, I mean, she wants to go every year, but she never does. But we have friends down in that area, so it would be a chance to go see them. We haven't seen them in a long time, and so that's a incentive for her to go. But we'll see. We'll have to see how it goes. And then Madison, we will definitely be at, because my wife's from Milwaukee. And my wife still has lots of family in Milwaukee, and my daughter is in school in Minnesota, and I go back and forth to Minnesota a couple times a year because of that. So Milwaukee's a definite. There's no doubt about that, and I know that's 2 years off, but it'll be here before you know it, right? It's like, hey, didn't we just have Christmas? But yeah, so man, it's getting hot down here. Anyway, so I'm actually gonna get to work. I think I've literally got just a handful of parts to put on this RAF P-47. I've got to do some paint on the other one. I've got to find the intercooler doors for these things. I'm sure they're here in the parts file. And I gotta do some cleanup today. I've actually got a bunch of parts sitting here that old parts from, like, you know, these Corsair builds and stuff that I just need to throw away. I'm not going to use them. I need to toss all that stuff. So I'm going to do that and whatnot. And I don't know what the fam is going to start trickling in the door here, which means my life ceases to be my own. Right? You know how that goes. But I'm, going back to this, I'm super excited about getting this up and running. Frank Crenshaw did a video on how to take a scan and trace it, and it's very well done. And that really helped me with that process. And then once I got through that, actually doing the cutting was really simple. So super, super excited about that. once these P-47s are done, I'm thinking maybe I got to do something else, something simple and fast, maybe like a car or something. I don't know. But yeah. So hey, that's it. That's all that's going on here. I just wanted to take some time while I could and say hi and yap a little bit and I don't know when the last time we had done a live was. It was obviously not any time recently. And Brett and I, we try and keep up on the chatter boxes, but that's kind of, we're kind of at a point where it's like, okay, what are we talking about now? And we'd like to do a live. I got to work on that. I've been doing a lot of my son, my youngest son is, I think I mentioned, a senior in high school, and he's very athletic, does pretty well, and has a ridiculous GPA and ridiculous SAT scores. And so we're going down the recruitment process with him for colleges, and that has started already. And I'm spending a bunch of time, all those videos and pictures and stuff that you take over the years that you should have like organized in folders and stuff. When you took them, well, I didn't. So guess what I'm doing? Tracking down videos and pictures and stuff and organizing them and getting them to him so that we can get them to the recruiters and whatnot. So that's taken up a lot of time. Yeah. But it's all good, man. It's all good. All right. Let's see here. Do you know if there's a 148 GB kit? There is a 148 GB kit. Who does it? I saw it. Okay, last year at the Las Vegas Nats, the guys from KitLink in Utah had it in their booth. I don't know whose kit it was, but yes, there is one. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? Give me 1 second and we'll look. Let's see here. So yeah, okay, there's the old Tester's Hawk one. That's ancient. You don't want that one. I mean, that one's fine, but there's a newer one. Yeah, the old Hawk kit. Doro Wings. It's the R1. It's the white and red one. So yeah, it's out there. So it's DORA, Dora Wings, 148 scale. Kit number DW8002. So perfect. There you go. Hope that's helpful. You're welcome. Clayton just got into the end of this thing. Good luck with whatever you're trying to do. Hey, as soon as I figure out what I'm trying to do, I'll let you know, okay? I'm just trying to get through the next couple of years. That's what I'm trying to do. My wife just went back to school to get her master's. So that's going to be the next 2 years. So yeah, pretty much my life for the next 2 years is just supporting her, really. Right? I mean, that's my job, right? So that's all good. But it's good because she's really doing something she wants to do, and she's excited about it, and so good on her. But anyway, all right, I am going to get out of here because I am just going to start jabbering. Not that I haven't been jabbering, but and I'm actually going to, I was going to do a little video here at some point on just putting a prop together, which sounds like something really simple. And it is simple, but it's right in the front. So you got to do it right. It's one of the first things people see. So, and I thought that would be fun to do since I got to do one for this other P-47, but yeah, that's going to be rough. Yeah. Where the door and the hot kits and yeah, no, that's the only two that I know of. That is the only two that I know of as far as the GB kit. But yeah, she's a trooper. She's a trooper, Clayton. All right, people. Hey, as usual, take care of the people you love. We'll see you next time. All right. Bye.